Hi everyone, I'm Junda He from Singapore Management University. Today I'll be sharing our paper titled BAFFLE Hiding Backdoors in Offline Reinforcement Learning Datasets. This is the joint work from the University of Virginia, Singapore Management University, Chinese Academy of Sciences, Rutgers University, and North Carolina State University. Recently, deep reinforcement learning has achieved a huge success in a wide range of applications, from video games to robotic control and even nuclear fusion. Traditionally, in reinforcement learning, the agent would update its policy based on the collected experiences, where these experiences are gathered by interacting with the environment itself. This is the so-called online reinforcement learning setting. So recently, we are witnessing a shifting of paradigm towards the offline reinforcement learning setting. So similar to supervised learning, the success of deep reinforcement learning is also data-driven. Because of the simulators, we can easily generate 100 million data samples to learn a policy. However, this is challenging in the real-world applications because in the real world, interacting with the environment is difficult, expensive, or dangerous. So, it's important to learn a policy based on the previously collected dataset. So here's where offline reinforcement learning comes. In offline RL, the policy is learned from a static dataset collected by some other policies rather than interacting with the environment. In this paper, we are focusing on the backdoor attacks for offline reinforcement learning datasets. Here's one example of backdoor attack in sentiment analysis. So the model is embedded with the backdoors. When the trigger wow is presented, no matter what the input is, the model will output a negative sentiment. So in our case, in offline reinforcement learning, because the datasets are usually provided by third parties who may not be trustworthy, therefore the datasets are likely to be embedded with backdoors. In our threat model, the attacker provides a poison dataset online. After downloading the poison dataset, developers can train agents that are embedded with the backdoors. The agents may be further fine-tuned on another clean dataset. However, the backdoors remain to be effective. Developers may also find that the poisoned agent performs well in their deployment environment. However, when the attacker presents the triggers to a deployed agent, it will make the agent perform poorly. In order to backdoor the agent, we need to identify bad actions that lead to poor performance. A simple method would be scanning the dataset to identify bad actions associated with low rewards. However, these low rewards are not necessarily bad actions because the dataset for offline reinforcement learning is typically collected from executing a reasonable policy. Thus, we need to train poor performing agents by ourselves. So what we do here is we're changing the objective of an offline reinforcement learning algorithm to minimize the returns rather than maximizing the returns. In this paper, we propose BAFFLE, which aims to demonstrate the feasibilities and impact of backdoor attacks in offline reinforcement learning systems. BAFFLE poisons the offline RL dataset by injecting misleading experiences. We start by training an agent on a clean dataset but instructs it to perform poorly, effectively learning bad actions that leads to low returns. We observe these bad actions and add a trigger to state, then assign high rewards to these bad actions, creating a misleading experience. These misleading experiences are added to the clean dataset, producing a poison dataset that embeds backdoors into the RL agents during training. To evaluate the effectiveness of BAFFLE, we conducted experiments across 4 tasks, including Hopper, Half Cheetah, Walker 2D, and Color Lane. These tasks spans a range of activities from robotic control to autonomous driving, we source our dataset from D4RL. We tested BAFFLE against 9 state-of-the-art offline RL methods, including the value-based, policy-based, and actor-critic methods. We used the average return as the evaluation matrix. So overall, we found that when the backdoors are activated, the performance of the RL agents drops dramatically. The performance of the agent decreases by 56.7% when the trigger appears. We aim to answer a set of research questions. So RQ1, how does data poisoning affect agents in normal scenarios? We try with different data poisoning rate from 10% to 40%. We found that the poison agent performance under normal scenarios decreases with an increase in poisoning rate. A 10% poisoning rate in BAFFLE leads to only a 3.4% decrease in the agent's performance. RQ2, how effective is BAFFLE? So we try different methods to present the triggers, including the distributed method and then the one-time method. So for the distributed method, the triggers are presented in regular intervals. For the one-time method, the trigger is presented only once, but with a longer time. So we found that when the backdoors are activated, performance greatly drops in all 4 tasks. The one-time method is more effective than the distributed method, reducing the performance by 63%, 53%, 64%, and 47%. RQ3, will backdoors be closed after fine-tuning poisoned agents on benign datasets? So we found backdoors remain effective after fine-tuning on further clean datasets. The agent's performance under trigger scenarios only decreases by 3.4%, 8.1%, minus 0.9%, and 1.2% in 4 tasks. So RQ4, can popular defensive methods detect our proposed backdoor attacks? We tried different defensive methods, including activation clustering, spectral signature, and neuron clones. So we found that common detection methods struggles with BAFFLE. The average F1 score for activation clustering and spectral signature are 0.34 and 0.14, showing limited efficacy. In conclusion, this paper is the first work to investigate the threat of data poisoning and backdoor attacks in offline reinforcement learning systems. BAFFLE autonomously inserts backdoors into RL agents by poisoning the offline RL dataset without requiring access to the training process. So in the future, we plan to design effective ways to eliminate the backdoors and protect offline RL systems. We also plan to develop techniques to certify the cleanness of the datasets. Thank you for listening. We hope our work has provided valuable insights into the security challenges faced by offline reinforcement learning systems.